Hello, hello, hello.
Oh,
We're back, baby. Back as the introductory co-host. I know you've all missed me. I know you've all missed me. But why we're here today, and why I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Jay Drizzy,
what it do? What it
living in
do?
Babylon, is because it's playoffs, baby. And although
Playoffs?
I may not be taking part in playoffs, at least the chance to win the beautiful, beautiful, as Jordan put it earlier by text, beautiful, beautiful El Harambe, I'm trying to avoid the deuce. And I'm joined by someone who is in contention, right? My co-host I already mentioned, who's going for the beautiful, beautiful El Harambe. But let's talk about the guests that we have. Jordan, you want to introduce our guests this week for our first playoff episode?
Okay. Typically, this is done by the introductory host, but it's been a few weeks, so I'll let you slide. First and foremost, we have a man, not just a man, but a man with a bye. Jury's still out on whether or not he's by. It's the Walking Ted, Mr. Olave Garden.
Mr. Olave Garden.
What it do? What it do? It's pretty good to be out here. Had to let the crickets play, but got the 1 seed. Feeling pretty good about it. It's been a nice ride. We'll get into it later, but it's good to be back. It's good to be in the winners bracket. I gotta say.
Welcome on in. We also got a man who is probably breathing a few sighs of relief that he doesn't have to repeat a punishment this year. It is the one, the only, the Strad Boys, Mr. Matt Ganthier.
I'm sorry,
I,
wrong button.
I don't
Welcome on
appreciate
in.
that.
That was for you not beating Loesch and damning me to this loser's bracket.
Oh, you didn't beat Loesch. Now I'm a loser. Maybe beat better throughout the year.
Yeah, maybe don't trade your way out of a playoff spot, huh?
Oh,
All right. Here it is. Hold
Is
on,
this
hold
dude a
on.
savage?
Fair enough.
why don't you give us a little, since, your hopes of winning the true glory of this league are now all but done. Why don't you give us a little rundown of where you think it went wrong, where you think everything turned for you? Because for a period of time, you were looking good. You were up there. You were on a nice little streak. Your playoff percentage was relatively high. What happened?
I believe first
All
in
right,
the power
we're
rankings.
going. I did have a first spot in the power rankings, and I guess that was too much pressure for me to handle. So I said, I'm ranked first. Let me just trade away my team. Um, no,
True
let's
Lion
see.
fashion. You
Let's see. Yeah, I've only
choked
had the
when
whole year
all was
though.
big.
I've only had a winning streak of two, and that came in weeks 4 and 5, and that was not when I was being ranked uh one in the league. I think I was ranked one. Uh, that might have been actually the 2 game win streak might have been around there. But yeah, I guess I'll talk on the state of my team since I'm the only one in the losers bracket before we get into the rankings. I'll keep it simple. Only trade I shouldn't have done is the one with JB. That's pretty much the bottom line. If I don't mind all the other trades I did. I mean, obviously Etienne and Pollard wasn't a good one either, but that one I could have lived with because that one wouldn't have affected like the course of the rest of my season to the degree that it did. And yeah, as long as I just didn't trade Lamb and Kamara for Adams, I got greedy. Basically, I sold on Kamara. Sorry, I sold on Lamb too quick. I thought Adams would be better because the Cowboys were stinking. And then I sold on Kamara because even though I thought Kamara would be better than Damian Pierce, I thought Pierce would at least just be a solid 10 to 15 flex the rest of the year. And the week after I made that trade, both guys tanked for the rest of the season. And not only that, but Kamara maintained, which I figured he would, but CD just erupted the week after I traded him. So like the luck couldn't have been actually worse on that one. I can't lie, couldn't have been worse because even if I hadn't done like if Devontae had been like maybe at like a 10 to 15 scorer consistently, I would have felt a little less bad. But like he was like single digits for like a month and a half, and then Damian Pierce just fell off a total cliff. So like, and then CeeDee Lamb basically becoming wide receiver too. Um, I don't think if like at the time the trade was made, I think some people thought JB won maybe just because they thought I gave up a little too much value adding Kittle, but I don't think anyone thought it was like a. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you all could tell me, but I don't think at that time anybody thought it was like anything nuts because CD hadn't done that great. That's why Matt had traded him for Amon Ra because CD had just been kind of like, low end wide receiver one, high wide receiver two, and like at the time it did like the unluckiness of that cliff fall just 1 week later was nuts. So hindsight, I guess that's the one thing I shouldn't have done because if I hadn't done it, there's like 2 games in there I would have won that I didn't, and that's a playoff spot. So that's the state of my team.
And listen, well, you drafted Derrick Henry. He's number 4 running back in the league right now.
D-Hens 4.
Yep.
I still don't mind that one as much because Burrow was honestly the one. And again, like had I just left that trade originally how it was, Etienne would have been a fine trade off there. You know, getting off of Burrow and trading D-Hen. So like that trade itself initially, it's kind of more what I did after. But yeah, tough season of trades. I'm normally a trader, but I've definitely broke the record this season for trades in a season.
Whole lot of good that did you.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean that's all I've got now. I've just I'm in survival mode down here in the losers bracket, which I think my team's in pretty okay shape. It's just we'll just have to see if I win on the right week. That's pretty much it at this point. I don't dislike my chances to be okay, but at the same time, I'm down here, right? It's a cruel league sometimes. Harambe, I was not in his favor this season. So, in fact, Jordan,
no, and hey,
before we get to the roster real quick, both the people that you said had it coming this season are both in the losers bracket, me and Va, because of how last season shaped up. Va being the winner and me being the commish that made the ultimate decision to roll with what we decided to roll with, and both Va and I sit in the losers bracket. So
I don't remember saying that, but I'll take it. And I do want to say one thing. Next time I ask to give like a state of your team, just a 2 minutes would be good. Like quick 30-second little synopsis. I don't need a fucking tirade about your team next time, but we appreciate it. It's good insight
It'll
that
be
no one
good
really
for
asked for.
it'll be good for the DVD footage for
The extended commentary.
explain how when it's like the deucing, you hit the freeze frame. How did I end up here? And then you throw in that audio clip.
yeah, listen, Jordan.
Yeah,
I'm
we can
sure.
toss
I'm
it
sure
into
if you had ended up in the bracket by some chance, you'd want to vent about how your team got there, especially since your team's a good one. You almost
The problem is
you
you
and
hit that.
Brendan kind of had that like chance of really good team that almost went in the bracket.
Who, Jordan?
Yeah. I mean, I would have.
Jordan seems solid.
Yeah.
Jordan seems a really solid one.
Yeah.
Brennan's both. I mean, both those teams were like it could have happened. I mean, Jordan, you were 7th seed right before this week. I'm sure you would have wanted a moment to rant about how your season went to shit.
No, I probably would have wanted to rant, but sometimes when you know.
No.
Well, you know.
So,
All right, let's get on to the teams that matter. Okay.
And speaking of the teams that matter, let's talk about the power rankings real quick. So the official, and these are the last power rankings of the season because from here on out, eliminations take place. So it's like kind of just ranking from here stops. So this was the final rankings of the season. And what are our thoughts?
Really no
Let me
thoughts.
see.
I am a little shocked by. This is no offense to Ted, but by Ted at 1, mainly because I think that Follow Spike has the best team going into the playoffs.
Is
I
Tyreek injured? Is he going to be injured for a little bit? Do we know about what's going on with that?
He came
With
back
his
in the
ankle,
game.
I honestly,
He
yeah,
came out, but he came back in. So I don't think it's maybe a week,
I
maybe at
got
worst.
I definitely have Teddy top 2.
Yeah, I don't take offense to it, Jordan, because I also had me at 2, but I actually had
Or sorry,
Wardle at
top 3.
1.
Sorry, top 3.
You bastard. No, I actually had I had Wardell at 1. Let me pull up his squad. I feel like um yeah, just looking through his peeps, um his team's just been snapping. He's just Mr. fucking consistent. Like or he kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like at the beginning of the season we weren't putting him at the very top of the ranks, but these last few weeks his team has been no slouch, and he just put up the biggest point number again, and that was with Tua putting up 10. I feel like he just has some dudes that can fucking snap, and um, sometimes his running backs look sus, but I mean Zeke got 25, Javante 18, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely a toss up. I feel like me Wardle and Brennan top 3 definitely makes sense to me. That was definitely mine, just in a different order.
That was my
Um,
top 3 too.
and I mean Brennan, it's like he's got some players like Tyreek 8, Mike Evans 1. We'll get into that in the winners and losers, but yeah, I'd imagine that was a pretty consistent. I wonder if it was Matt's, because Matt, I actually had Matt up at 4, so I had him higher than the power ranking.
Okay. Yeah, I had Matt. I had you at 5. I had you just below Jordan.
Yeah, that's where I put myself.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, everything kind of held up to me. I think Wardle leading his crusade against me. Most people had me at 7 or 8. Wardle had me at 10, and wasn't enough to sink me down to 8 below Tuck. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I'll actually say that the loser, like you're saying, um, it was actually the losers bracket was the hardest part to rank for me. Because I was looking through the squads. Some of them honestly not don't look too bad. And well, I mean, obviously there's 2 7-7 teams in there, but um, even Vaught and Tuck, I was like, where do I put who? Because it's like, and I want to put Los so bad, but like I wanted to put Los last real bad, but my conscience, I feel uh like Los's team still has some fucking crazy potential. Um, and I mean, he had a really good week. So, but yeah, I instinctively I put you at 7, Sean. Maybe just because yeah, at a lot of times just you are one of the better teams. So it was like, okay, so he's probably still up there. I ended up keeping you there, but I was like, I could have easily thought about dropping you, but I couldn't pull the trigger, especially because you have some players that can boom pretty good too. So I was like, I'm gonna throw this order up. The league will decide. But I guess the losers bracket could be. I mean, it's a fucking toss up in a lot of ways.
oh yeah, I feel like the only way it would have felt like someone in there was definitely going to be okay is if Brendan made it in. That's about the only person I feel like that was in contention. That would have been like for sure. Oh yeah, no one thinks that they have a shot at losing. I think Brendan's that one.
What does that
I
mean?
had,
Like
I did
meaning,
have Vol.
what do you mean? What is that? Like Brennan's about the only one that league consensus would probably be like, okay, Brennan's probably going to be safe in this whole thing. Like everyone was saying the whole time leading up that was in the losers bracket, in and out, or like Var Tuck who had been in there. Like we don't want Brennan in there. We don't want Brennan in there. Like that was the only one you really get like that kind of vibe about, at least from
What does
everyone
that
I was
mean?
talking to. What does life mean?
Good question. So does that mean you think Brennan's going to run the table in the winner's bracket?
I think he has a good shot to. Yeah, if you're asking me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ted and Wardle both have good shot. I mean, anyone in it can win. I mean, you and JB and Matt all have teams that could put it together and win. Like you were saying to me earlier, how you feel like you could string a couple wins together. JB was saying the same thing when I was texting him. He feels like he could string a couple together. Matt, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like those top three are the top three, where it's like any of those three could pretty much run the table. Ted, Wardle, and Brennan.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it will probably just be matchup dependent, like who the players are playing their versus, like what defenses and shit.
I mean,
But yeah.
I would say it kind of depends on, because Brennan's got some injuries, but how severe, like Tyreek's is, and Nico.
Yeah, all right.
I think it was. Yeah, Nico got hurt, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hurt his calf or something.
But yeah. And is Jonathan Taylor coming back? Like,
Not this
possibly, right? Not this week, but if he comes
next,
back,
potentially.
like if he comes back in a late round of the playoffs, could be huge for him and for
me,
you, Sean, right?
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
know what? He's doubtful this week. He's already like pretty guaranteed to not be back. But to lose Zach Moss, who like filled in that spot for me, because like Kenneth Walker's, man, that situation just sucks there in Seattle. It's becoming a split backfield, and so Zach Moss came in at the perfect time as my RB2. To lose him, and like this week doesn't matter. So to lose him potentially next week, right when the real stuff starts, could really suck. So we'll see.
True. Yeah, and I mean it's kind of a lose for both of you because Brennan, like he needs every week fucking matters if you don't have the bye. So it's like he's just gonna have to survive this one, which he's done most of the season. I mean, he only just got Jonathan Taylor back a few weeks ago, but yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, I guess save some of that for matchups of the week, but shit. Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah, this shit could go any fucking way. Okay, the last thing I wanted to note on the power rankings is what was y'all's opinion in the group chat of how fucking disgusted Loesch was that Tuck was above him? I felt like he had no fucking right.
I mean, that's just how low shit is. Generally, insane to have me below Tuck. Like, is it? Your team is pretty hurt. You do not have running backs. You're also Loesch.
Mostert is pretty. I think Mostert's still going to be good. I guess it depends if Justin Jefferson. Did he? Right, like he got hit in the chest or some weird shit.
He got hit in the back.
It's supposed to be like some broken ribs or something, right?
They took him to the hospital to make sure there's no like internal bleeding. He might come back this game. He's got a good shot to return this week.
Also, it's like, is Josh Dobbs out? Like, is it going to be a fucking third stringer?
Yeah, Mullins is allegedly starting.
Nick Mullins with his weird shaped head.
Who are the Vikings playing this week?
I don't know.
Bengals.
Loesch thinks that one good week excuses a previous like 3 bad weeks. Not to mention Pat Mahomes is not Pat Mahomes this year, at least fantasy wise.
And Loesch, be grateful that I mean he moved up a spot. No, he didn't. Wait, did he?
I got the names wrong on the team name part, which is weird because I went in and changed it before I noticed that, went in, changed it, screenshotted it again, and I guess it didn't update on the Google. But yeah, he moved up a spot. Yeah, he is 9. He moved up a spot.
Yeah, so be grateful, bitch. Whatever. You can't please some of these hoes.
Yeah, some people are just fucking. You know how he is. You don't see Va coming in here saying, "Why am I number 10?"
Because then when he hits somebody with the upset, who the fuck is Loesch playing?
Va waits until
Yeah,
He
me, but
wins
it,
to
again,
start
it
his
doesn't
shit
really
talk.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vaz scarred from the past to talk shit during the matchup.
All right, let's
I'll
hit the
talk
winner
shit
of the week,
before
baby.
the matchup.
All right, so let's get to it, boys. Teddy, why don't you go ahead and give us your winner of the week?
Okay. I'm gonna make mine. I'm gonna make my winner of the week. I'm gonna hit Jay Drizzy.
Hey!
Were you in the losers bracket last week? Or
Yes, I was.
yeah, okay, that's mainly gonna be my thing is Drizzy. You had to have been a little scared, but your squad
Oh man,
end up having
very scared.
a pretty solid week. I guess there were decent scores all around the league. Only one team under 100, but you would have beaten half the league easily. So yeah, and you leapfrogged a bunch of fucking people, and did you end up second place in the division? Was it like third seed?
Yep. Last week I
So
was last.
massive leap and pretty good week. I have a good feeling for us that the DJ Moore connection might be a little juicy right now. He's fucking ranked 6th in the year. I guess that 50-point game not hurt, but he's had a
50-point
pretty
game
damn
helped
good
a
year.
lot.
But yeah, good ass week, and Jalen Hurts ain't even do that much. They were playing Dallas, so yeah, pretty good dub. And I guess Va had nothing to lose. He was playing spoiler.
He was
But
playing
Oh, and
spoiler.
Paul wanted to win so bad.
He did. He really
No,
did.
he did.
And I mean, he put up considering some of the shit scores on his team, he had a valiant effort. Lamar was going brazy down there.
Did.
I was like,
scared.
I know you're scared when that went to OT, but then the dude ran that shit back and it was all over. But yeah, I'm gonna give mine to Drizzy. That was a clutch ass dub. Always scary when you're on the cusp.
Shout out
Plus,
Njoku.
you had, pretty sure, didn't you have like a fucking? Are you still on a win streak? Or did
No,
you
I
just
lost last week.
you just
Or
lost?
2 weeks ago to Matt.
But you were on like a 4-gamer, like 3 or 4 games, lost one and then won this one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
he goes
fucking
on
dug yourself
4.
out. And yeah, well, yeah, I guess you just got hot because your points 4 is the lowest in the winners bracket, but you must have just gotten the high scores on the back end of the year. Crawled yourself out, so it was clutch.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was
Indeed.
definitely happy about it.
That was a good dub for you. Yeah, and unless I'd like lapse in a scenario where I lapse you on points 4 or something, you had me on points 4, so even if you had lost, Loesch winning would have still kept you in the winners bracket. So
Oh, really? It's a
yeah,
different
because
seed.
it just would have been JB would have been 5th seed even with his loss because of the whole points 4 thing. It would just would have been the same scenario with you, me, and Loesch again, but you would have been the one in JB's position. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Loesch winning was dragging me down either way, pretty much because of us two being the lowest 2 in points 4.
Does
So
Loesch know this? That he's the reason? Because I could see him just getting all sorts of horned up about that.
I wanted to ask you guys this. What do you think Loesch? Because I don't think he realizes it. He actually, I don't know if he was gonna tell the boys or not, but he told me over text that he's been slammed with work. So he got a promotion. So shout out. Let's give Loesch a little love here for an Amazon promotion. Lateral move into corporate is what he said. But he said he's been slammed with work. So I don't know if he's put that together yet, unless he's just read what I've put. But I wanted to know if you guys thought, because if he basically he decided, not that he could have thrown the game, that would have like we would have, chastised him for it and all, but like if he had chose to do something like that, like put in a worse player, like or if he just hadn't won genuinely, he sends JB in there with him. So my question was, do you think Loesch, being Loesch, would have gotten more pride out of losing and dragging JB with him, or winning like he did and dragging me with him? Because
I think in fantasy he would rather drag you. If it's like an athletic thing, he wants to try to beat JB.
you think so?
That's my opinion. If it's like basketball or something, he would want to take JB down. But because it's fantasy football, I think he takes more pride out of taking you out.
What are
I'm
you
kind
saying?
of
That Loesch what?
What I'm saying is
If
that
Loesch
if
would have
Loesch
thrown, he would have
lost,
dragged down JB.
not just
Do you
thrown,
think
but
he
just
would take?
lost in general, under any scenario, if Loesch had lost, because him winning drags me down. Loesch was basically playing who am I dragging down into the losers bracket this week. That was his
now.
game this week. And
How does
so,
that work though? Because I thought JB had higher points for.
right, but if Loesch had lost, it would have just been me and JB at that 7-7 after like the first two tiebreakers. That would have gotten you and Brennan out. So you and Brennan would have been okay, but then it resets every time. So then it would have been just me and JB left at 7-7. But because it's just me and him, it goes to head, and I had the head to head because of the 2 weeks ago. So
Okay.
Loesch, because that would have made you Matt. Actually, it just would have been me, Brendan, and JB. Because if Jordan had won, Matt, you would have been 8-6, and Loesch would have been 6-8. And so that would have just left me, Brennan, and JB, and Brennan would have gotten out first, and then it would have been me and JB, and like I said, I would have gotten out. So Loesch was basically playing this week the way it had set up, either take Sean or take JB. And I was asking which one do you think he would have actually enjoyed doing more? And that's, yeah, I see
think
your
it's
point,
Good question.
Jordan.
Because he
Because
does have a weird alpha rivalry with JB.
again, not that we would have let him throw anything if he had tried, and I don't think he would have for the integrity of the league. But even just like his
How do you
enjoyment
not let
of
someone know?
losing. I don't know.
How do you not
We
let?
kind of discussed this last week, right? But like, what is the scenario for
I'm gonna be
not?
honest. That scenario that Tuck put up there, like I didn't think, I don't think I would do it. Maybe just the mojo wise, but thinking about not wanting to lose the league and like not having Brendan in there, I was like, it's not collusion. It's like strategic, but it's like pretty. It's pretty down. I don't know. It's skeevy, but I was like that he's thinking. I don't know
Yeah. So what?
because
And
it's not like
that's
he's
the
it.
conversation we tried to have
It
last week.
because like you can't throw the league because you have to fly across the country. I don't know. It does suck for those. I'm glad he didn't do anything, and I think there is something to, even though we're playing fucking fantasy, it's like I feel like throwing games always comes back to haunt you. And like I'm saying like in Survivor and shit like that, when they throw challenges, that shit
Yeah,
fucks them
it
up.
always
And
does.
I feel like like losing momentum in sports and shit. I don't know. I feel like it's bad juju and with the Harambe spirits around. But I was like, okay, Tuck, like I see you there. And mind you, it's like I bet you in fucking fantasy, if you throw the league and try and swap in, obviously like not starting players in the lineup, yeah, we can fucking call you out on that shit. You can't pull that shit. But if you like put in a player you think is worse, I bet you they do better just to spite you, and you accidentally win the game.
Right.
I don't
Like
know.
like in my head, I
Yeah,
thought
but how
like,
did I mean?
sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
I was gonna say even if like say he doesn't start players, is someone gonna we're forcing him to start players? We're forcing him to
Well, yeah, because that's
like
what you're saying now
Sean
is like,
goes in and edits the team, or like what
yeah,
happens?
like what is the consequence? Like what? Because I was thinking about that after we had that conversation
Yeah.
last week, Jordan. I was like, what is? It has to have a consequence. Like someone has to be able to be like, well, if I do this, this happens. Like, what is the consequence?
I just don't think. I don't think it's something we have to worry about. I hope not. I just hope it's something that's just understood. Like, hey, play your fucking players, play
Well,
your
then
game.
Well,
can
to
I
me,
ask this
yeah.
question real quick? Is if Loesch had put two and
Nope.
two together, do you think, like, what if he had been like, I want JB in the losers bracket, like uh, I'm sitting, what's his name, Mostert. Like, What do we do? Do you think he'd do it? And what do we do?
I don't know. We tie him up and let JB have his way.
Well, JB had brought up in the chat. He said, if in that scenario, if we let stuff like that slide, then there should be no world where we enforce the punishment. Is something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But
I was playing. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Because I was even in my head, I was thinking, am I a little skeevy for not skeevy, but like I don't have that much free agent budget, and I already had the 1 seed locked up, and I spent $1 to get a defense just to beat JB in this game that would not matter to me. And I was like, damn, is this a little like low of me? But then to me, because like JB was the only one that could lose in this game. But then I was like, and the same thing with throwing games. It's like, to me, with the like little league, I like following that league history now. And like years down the line, like I need every win I can get from my career, you know.
That's fair.
And because especially last year, I went like fucking 2-12 or some shit. I need to win all my wins back.
That's true too.
But that defense didn't even matter in me and JB's game anyway, and he made it still, and so
he did. Yeah, unfortunately, not because of anti-JV, but just it wasn't me. Matt, what do you think on all that?
If someone were to throw, I mean, probably the league removal, right? Compromise the league.
Big man with the league removal.
I mean, hey.
Not me.
Do you blame him?
No, I mean,
someone were to.
I mean, if you're compromising the league, you got to be removed. I'd look at it
here's
as
the
like
problem,
dodging.
though. I've seen Loesch set some lineups that I think he's throwing the game.
I've also seen Loesch roster 3 kickers, so maybe he is trying to fucking throw.
Oh, plausible deniability. I'm talking about like outwardly, like it's obvious.
Well, because this will be the last question I'll ask on this, but like Jordan, if you were in, I'll start with you. If you were in JB's spot and Loesch said, "I want Jordan over Sean or whoever," and he pulled a player and he wouldn't put him back in, and you went into the losers bracket and it played out and you lost the league, like, are you doing that punishment?
Yes, I lost the league, and I mean this could be avoided if I would have just won my matchup.
That's your take on Loesch pulling
Loesch
players?
throwing?
Yeah, Loesch throwing.
Oh, I mean, trust me, there would be some type of retribution for Loesch, but I'm not going to not do the punishment.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I actually agree.
I mean, shit like that happens in like normal sports where your team is waiting for the other team's game to decide whether they're in the playoffs, and they pull all their starters, and then I don't know, shit like that happens in the normal league. They don't want their players to get hurt. Mind you, it's different here, obviously, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I was asking that just because of JB's comment of not enforcing the punishment if someone were to do stuff like that in the league. But yeah, I mean, I agree with your take, Jordan. As long as there's retribution for Loesch, then just follow through. Maybe add an asterisk to that L.
Not necessarily an asterisk to that
carve
L.
An asterisk into the deucing.
Well, no, because you still have to lose. You still have to fucking lose a bunch of games on the losers bracket.
Slip Loesch 5 milligrams next draft.
5 milligrams of what?
Nothing. Matt.
Saying 5 milligrams is not a lot of protein.
The man.
All that tanking stuff would be in the regular season, though. It wouldn't be in the playoffs, and nobody's gonna like fucking tank in the playoffs because you're gonna lose the league.
Right.
Playoffs.
All right, Matt. The man who roots for the team that puts up a historically low number of points. A game that with a historically low number of points since like 2007. Why don't you go ahead and pick your winner of the week?
I think I'll looking. I mean, Jordan was the obvious one. I'll give winner of the week to Olave Garden here. Give it to Ted.
Oh, hey!
put up a solid week, 131. Beat JB, another solid team. Secured your seeding as the one seed. Got yourself a first round bye, and you're sitting pretty. I feel like hitting this 131, and I think you had pretty high points last week too. You kind of demonstrated to some of those haters out there that your team can put up some points. So I think it was a statement win. Let you know that hey, I got breadsticks.
Yeah,
and I got active in here.
Listen, anybody rolling through with the breadstick, take a note shot as for my less than a marathon State of the Union. Yeah, I do feel good because and Sean when my team was ranked low early on, even though I was winning, and I didn't blame people because I wasn't a fraudulent team, but I had some Harambe luck on my side for sure. But even though my team was pretty good, but I think I had like a 70-point week when Burrow and Achan got hurt and my wide receivers weren't starting, yada yada. And since then, that was like my one bad week. And then since then, these last three, I feel like my team is actually hitting its stride and to a point where like I'm not just squeaking or I'm not just fluking into the winner's bracket. My points for has been pretty damn high these last 3 weeks. And at the beginning of the year, I thought my running backs were, I shouldn't even say a liability because I did have ETN. He wasn't that powerhouse he is now, but Rashad White is 5, Derrick Henry is 4. So I've got 2 of the top 5 running backs. Like I never would have thought that at the beginning of the year. And Olave and Pittman are 12 and 18, so they're still like wide receiver 2 range. But like Sean was saying last week, they have some pretty damn high floors. Like I can't think the last time either of them got under 10 points. And Kelsey hasn't been getting over 10, but hasn't been snapping. So, and Achan, I feel like he's getting heated up again. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I feel like my team's getting hot at the right time. So I felt pretty good about this dub too, even though it was not a necessary dub. Getting a 10-win season, ain't nothing to scoff at. So it was a good way to cap off the regular season, get the momentum going.
Nice little flip from your previous season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why. And honestly, at the beginning of the year, I started out like 1-2 or 2-2 or some shit, and I thought I was about to have a fucking repeat season because Fields was starting like ass. And if I'm gonna win the league, I think Fields. I think has a favorable schedule, and he's got that potential. He's the one I drafted, and I've been dancing quarterbacks around the rest of the season. But if Fields can have a good end of the year, then I have a shot at this shit for sure.
I feel that. Well, Jordan, would you like to give your winner of the week who you got this week?
Yeah, I'll give my winner of the week to a man that I have flamed week in, week out. And once again, his quarterback woes continued, but that didn't matter because he's easy, he's breezy, and he's a cover girl. And he took down a man who, I believe it was once said that if like 90% of the league figured that he would go undefeated for eternity or something like that if he was in the loser's bracket. Something about like, oh, if he was in the loser's bracket, there'd be 0 chance that he would lose. Someone said that once. But yeah, he beat Follow Spike, and shout out to Tuck.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Big
I mean, a huge statement dub. Yeah, gets the star team. It fucking probably made Brennan a little nervous. But yeah, and I was just looking at Tuck's team. He's going into the losers bracket because I was looking. I was surprised I had 2 of the top 10 running backs because that rarely happens for me. I look at Tuck's team. Bijan is 9, and Brees is 10. So he's got 2 of the top 10 too, going into the losers bracket.
You got 2 of the top 10 RBs?
Yeah.
What was that?
I said you got 2 of the top 10 RBs, Ted?
Yeah, White and Henry are 4 and 5.
Sounds like you also got a cat that's horny as hell.
That shit's in the other room too. I don't know what this MF is doing. Um, yeah, he does this weird shit. I don't know. He's playing with this ball. But yeah, Bijan, feel like was Tuck complaining about Bijan early in the year?
He was, because he
I
I
was
guess,
being underutilized.
but I guess for the first round pick it was tough. But I'm looking at his numbers. Not too fucking shabby, especially the last. I guess yeah, they're finally utilizing him, but all in all, he has. You don't want your fucking first round pick to have 3 weeks under 10 like that. I don't know, but it's been a pretty good year for him. And
It's
seems like
also
he's
just the state of RBs this year. Like RBs in general this year have not performed
yeah, and
to.
Bijan has actually played every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a weird year for running
But
backs.
if Bijan is good, and then Brees, I guess Brees is 10, but Brees is like not. He popped off this last game though, but that last one was weird. Or the last few weeks he's not been crazy, but um, yeah, Tuck's team sneaky, and Laporta had a down game for him too. Um, yeah, shit. Tuck team be a little sneaky. And Brandon Aubrey, if did he did he hack us all with this kicker move? He was complaining about the kickers and then slipped in with this MF. Did
Yeah,
he
Might
this dude's been
be.
their kicker all year. He just went crazy these last 2 games.
yeah, he picked him up in September. So
This dude
Tuck
has
picked
not
up
missed a
Brandon
field
Aubrey
goal.
before he even had a little picture. I remember Tuck having Brandon Aubrey, and he didn't even have
Oh
like
my
a
god.
player picture yet. Yeah,
Tuck, is he the kicker whisperer?
he might honestly this
Um
season might have turned Tuck around to pro kicker, which
I
I'm always welcoming that. So
Nope. I doubt it.
but should be interesting because now if Nico's out, Tuck's got Noah Brown, uh, who when the other receivers were out, Noah Brown put up some brazy weeks, so um, could be intriguing for Tuck.
yeah, really
But
could be.
I do not, and T didn't like the Cincy offense is still kind of clicking, so T isn't a bust like we thought he'd fizzle out to be. Potentially, he only had like 8 points, but it could have been way worse.
Yeah, no Tuck's team is definitely one to look out for. He's got the steam. He's got the momentum heading into the bracket. That's for sure.
Because
Yeah. But I'll go ahead and I'll give my winner of the week.
yeah, why don't you?
I'm gonna have to give it to 500 football. Gonna have to give it to Loesch.
Wow, that's big of
Um,
you.
yeah, I'm gonna give it to the man who sent me down into the brack with him because his team had been total cheeks for like the past month beforehand. I think he had 3 weeks under 100, aside from 1 week he like might have had 120 in there somewhere, but 3 out of 4 weeks was under a hundo, and his team was looking banged up. And honestly, this season, I'm really, for some reason, more than other seasons, kind of seeing the value of like what a team looks like when their defense and kicker pop off versus like I've seen a lot of weeks like I've experienced them. I've looked around at scores and seen them where it's like the difference in teams when like even just looking at this matchup, Matt, like you having the Steelers D have 4 and Young Ho have 3. Um, and then like having not the Harrison Bucker popped off, but the Saints defense having 18. Like it really swings games. Um, those last two spots like combined can really swing a game. So that's he had picked up the Saints defense on the right week, and Cooper Kupp looked like his old self. Mostert and James Cook with this emergence of James Cook too. Like he's been balling since uh, the coaching change at OC for the Bills, much to the demise of Stephon Diggs's fantasy relevance, but Cook is making plays. So that's yeah. So it was a good win for him. Dragged me down and you know kept the poop soup really steamy. Heading into this. It's a good win for Loesch.
All right.
You saying he added Raheem most turds to the poop soup?
I think he might have done just that.
He did have 2 girls, 1 Cooper Cup in there.
Yeah, he did. Well, Teddy, who do you think the loser of the week is?
L of the week. I mean, gotta go to the kneecap. A tragic L.
Oh.
Yep. That's
But honestly, not much you could have done. You just got knucked.
I did, and I
Your team
bucked
would have
too.
your team shot the bed. You would have only beaten Follow Spike too, though. But yeah, pretty shite week, I guess. There wasn't much on your bench you could have done to help you neither.
No, not at all. Yeah, beating
Cortland
Wardle
Sutton's
wasn't gonna
been
happen.
fucking surprisingly good.
He
He scores
has.
touchdowns like every fucking game. What the fuck?
Yeah, he does. Russ just finds him for one pretty much almost every game.
No, he literally has only had 3 games where he did not have a touchdown all year.
Yeah, he's moved into my flex,
11
and
out
he's
of
been pretty good.
13. Jesus Christ. I feel like he's been like one of these. He like his entire fantasy career. He's like a waiver wire ad you never want to have to make, but sometimes have to in desperation. And he always sucks. But this time I don't know. Maybe he's been good a year or two, but I feel like him. Yeah, it's like Jerry Jeudy never blew my D off neither. But yeah, shit. You picked him off the waiver.
No, I traded him with Matt at the last second, and that ended up being a good trade for both of us because McBride's been pretty good for you, Matt, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Damn.
yeah,
It's
and
good
what's
to see a little
crazy,
harmony in the league.
what's crazy too is look at his catches. He's not doing it on a ton of catches either. Like you would think, like a receiver with his amount of touchdowns like is getting a ton of volume, but he's really not. Like he's not catching that many footballs. They just happen to be touchdowns. Like 3 catches last game, one of them was a touchdown. 2 catches the game before, one of them was a touchdown. And you see that trend like in quite a few of the weeks.
Better hope he doesn't regress, Sean.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have faith in Cortland Sutton. But yeah, no, L of the week is fair. It's into the brack. Didn't clutch
Would it
up.
be L of the century? Oh?
It let's see how the season ends up. Let's see how the season ends up before we decide that. Matt, who you got as your L of the week?
Uh, so I mean, obvious one would be you, but that one's already taken. So let's see. Hell of the week. I mean, not a lot of these losses really changed. I guess I give it to Follow Spike. You know, Mr. Power Rank 1 in our league here, putting up an 83-point effort in a absolute blowout loss by Tuck. Kind of sucks to see Mike Evans only put up 1 point. Nico Collins gets hurt in the first couple plays. I think his calf exploded. I'll have to check sources on that. Tyreek Hill getting injured. Hope he's all right. And then, DeAndre Swift, who's been a solid back this season. Kind of regret trading him, but he only put up 5 points. In just a really surprisingly low scoring game. The Minnesota defense, of course, gave him 17 because we got one of the top defenses in the league. But yeah, I'm about to give it to Paul Sprite. Just a pretty underwhelming performance. Hopefully, he can repeat it this week. For
Big
no
matchup
reason,
to look at. Jordan, who you got? Who's your winner of the week? Or I'm sorry, loser of the week.
Winner? We're back to winner?
No, we're on loser.
My loser of the week is Captain Doctor Baba. Only because, I mean, a win to him wouldn't mean much in terms of his placement, but I know how bad he wanted to beat me. Damn me to the loser's brack. And my initial loser of the week was you, because you had a win-in situation and you didn't win. So I had to pivot quick, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick Vava because I know he's probably more upset about this loss than some of his other losses. And maybe I'm just thinking more highly of myself than and of Va's hatred for me than is truly there. But
No,
I
he
think I'm
loves you.
pretty accurate. I think I'm pretty accurate when I say that Va loves nothing more than crushing my fantasy dreams like he did last year, and he wanted to do it again this year. So I'm gonna say Captain Doctor is my L of the week, especially because 44 points from Lamar, 22 from Joe Mixon, and you can't capitalize. It's tough.
You're never getting those performances back.
Yeah.
Damn,
It's
wasted it
toughy.
on a useless week, bro. Like, I don't know how you come back from that.
Well, he's got Tuck this week, so let's see. That'll be one to look at. But before we get there, I'll throw in my loser of the week real quick, and I'm gonna give it to the captain, the Gibbs, just because although it didn't come to fruition this way, the captain, the Gibbs, was also in a scenario where if he won, he was in, and he did
He won.
not.
He was on.
If he won, he was un, right? And he did not won. Uh, but he still ended up getting saved. So basically, he did get saved by Loesch, and but when it came time for his team to actually clutch up and get the dub, he did fall short and then have to start rooting for Loesch for about 24 hours. So I'm sure that was not fun for JB. So he had a quarterback on a bye. His team did all right, over 110 just barely, but not enough to take on Teddy, who really was sitting up in his ivory tower, not really caring what happened at the end of the day, aside from maybe wanting that win total for future seasons to go up. But yeah, not too much to play for, and JB had it all to play for, and he lost, but he just didn't have to reap the repercussions because Loesch won. So I'll give JB the loser of the week solely for that one.
Also
Hell yeah.
tough. He might have. I hate to say JB deserved it, but he is starting a player that kind of like outs one of our league mates' deepest, darkest secrets. His kicker, Matt Gay.
That's
I know Matt
very
was trying to keep
interesting.
that a secret,
Matt,
but
wait, are you outing Matt on a live pod?
JB outed him this week on his roster.
Matt, you got any words for this?
You know, I wanted to come out on my own time, and hearing that I've been outed before I was ready is really upsetting.
All right.
What's
Yeah, it's
really
almost
fucked up? What's really fucked up for JB this week though? Like, I know there's some. It's we all deal with bye weeks and shit, but the fact that the league's greatest stack was on a bye on the final week of the season, that's just fucking brutal.
yeah, that is tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what's not brutal? Looking at the matchups of the week coming up, because we got some juicy playoff matchups to look at.
Oh my gosh, are you trying to steal
Wait,
my ability to segue?
what percentage of
Hey,
JB's
listen,
team is Sean's old team?
I slipped it in there. What percentage?
So I'm looking at JB's team. I'm like, hey, are we gonna pull off the little Scooby Doo mask? It's like
It's
Sean's
actually me.
roster from 4 months ago.
um, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don's draft night roster.
Oh, if you want to count the Browns defense, because I had them briefly in a trade with JV, you could make that 5. And Damian Pierce on the bench, because I technically had him for a little bit too. I don't know how deep you want to go with who's his and who's mine. We've shared a couple players back and forth, because like Kittle too on my roster. But
Oh,
current,
and he's got your favorite QB, Kirk, on the IR.
I don't know about that one, but I just know that current players on JB's team that I have also had on my team, 7, including 5 starters. So that's the majority of his lineup.
Wow.
Damn. That's
Yep.
deep.
But to be fair though, since we've made that trade about a month and a half ago, maybe it was like close to 2 months now, he's kind of split even with this squad, because don't forget, JB's getting in on a 4-game losing streak if I'm remembering correctly. His last few games, maybe it's not 4, but I think it's like somewhere close to that, right? He's lost maybe
Something like that.
No, it is, yeah. And in fact, since we did that big trade, since we've done that trade where we switched up squads, he is 3
Well, don't
and 3
just
and
look at the
5.
trade, but look at when Kirk got hurt. How long ago was that?
When did Kirk get hurt, Matt?
Probably like 4 or 5 weeks ago. At this point.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so
Week 8.
let me see this lineup. Week 8 he got hurt. Oh yeah, because Sam Howell was starting that other week. I'm looking at his schedule right now. Yeah, it was Sam Howell. So week 8. So he had won 2 games with the trade with Kirk, and then Kirk got hurt, and then he's won 1 game. But also Sam Howell's been serviceable for at least half that time. He's put up, I mean, Sam Howell in his 1 week win, he had like 40 or something like that, and then he's put up 20s. So JB losing to Kirk, and Kirk right before his injury, 25 points? I think he got hurt early in that game though. Matt, when did Kirk get hurt in the game that he played? Like at what point in the game was he hurt?
I think it was third. I think it was third quarter.
Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, I mean his team's been without Kirk. Yeah, he's lost 4 of 5 or 5 of 6. So yeah, he's having a tough go of it. But we'll see what he can string together in the playoffs. And speaking of, let's get to these matchups here. So what we're looking at, how do we want to play this? Because we're looking at the playoffs, we're looking at the first round, but there's 4 of us, and there's really only 2 games that matter this week. So do we want to just talk about the 2 games?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So Stroud Boys and Follow Spike is one of our matchups. Let's talk about that one. What are our thoughts? What do we like? What do we not like going into this one? Ted,
Go
Matt.
Stroud Boys.
What do we like? What do we not like?
Yeah, just looking at the matchups. Who are we rooting for? Maybe.
Damn,
We should have known that Matt was closeted.
He what? I don't want to step on a joke.
No, God damn it! I found the soundboard. Hit the cricket. No, I was gonna say Matt. We should have known he was closeted. He took the pride part out of his name and of his team, and he switched it to. He's not proud. He's Stroud.
He's Stroud.
He didn't want to give it away. Thank you.
Tell you what.
So that matchup,
without a doubt, we've got the sweet picture. Man.
What?
Matt, you're breaking up pretty bad.
Oh, do I sound better?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, we know without a doubt which one of the 2 teams has the sweet picture.
Is that picture an original though?
It is. I took it.
The Fall Spike one is original.
I took it
It's
myself.
All right. Well,
I got
I'm
on CJ Stroud and the Proud Boy parade. And
Matt. Do you want to speak on how you're feeling about your team heading into this matchup? Maybe a little state of your team.
Let's go
Yeah.
State of the Union.
Let's go about
I'll
5, 10,
have a little
1,
put,
1, 2, go. Good.
Jordan,
what,
Jordan, are you okay?
what is going on?
I don't know.
I'm just mimicking Matt right now, how he sounds through my headset.
Do
I'm
I?
hearing like every third word, and it sounds like he's speaking in a foxhole or something. It's super muffled.
What?
This is
Really?
all. This is all I hear when Matt talks.
Oh my God, hold on. It's my AirPods, bro.
Well, I'll say real quick about this matchup. I'm interested in seeing it play out. Yeah, I think it'll
Hello?
be. You good now?
Am I clear now?
Oh, you're
Am I
good now.
clear
Okay,
now?
yeah. You're good. Go ahead. Go ahead with the state of your squad and just heading
Yeah,
into the playoffs.
don't try to leapfrog me on my own team.
Listen, you're the one with the mic problem.
My squad. I think it's pretty solid. I think, I had a pretty nice little waiver snag late in the season with Chuba Hub. With it looks like the new coach is not running a split backfield, and it's very clear that Hubbard's going to be the running back one in the Panthers. So I thought I got a nice little steal from him. I think my running backs are solid with Saquon, Pacheco, Hubbard. Jones on the bench, but he never plays because he's always hurt. They're solid. I was very confident in my receivers up until recently, but Keenan hasn't really been putting up the points that he once was. Old man Winter starting to slow down, and then Amon Ra. I mean, he was decent at the beginning of the league or at the beginning of the year. But the lines are going to line, and now they're starting to slow down, starting to
God, I
show that offense isn't as good as I thought it was. Which
cannot wait till we sweep you. Swept.
should have seen it coming as a Viking fan. I knew it was too good to be true. You guys can't be good for long, and I kind of wish I kept CD because he's been popping off. But I got the number one defense in Dallas. They're balling out. I think my quarterback situation's pretty solid. I think Purdy and Stroud are both good QBs. I think I just overall have like a pretty roundabout, like solid team. Like I think I got a good floor.
Great pelvic floor on this squad. Let's screw for old made winter with Herbert out for the year too.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll be taking passes from Nick Easton. Oh, great. Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully, I figure that's gonna knock his value down, a little bit. But
But
I just get booted.
Somebody
Oh,
just
okay.
dropped. No, Matt
no, we're
did.
good.
Matt just
Oh,
dropped.
Matt just dropped. Man on a butt too.
Dude, I just thought of a strat I'm gonna pull just to fuck with Loesch and the rest of the fucking chumps in the losers bracket.
What are you
I'm
gonna do?
gonna
Spoil it for me.
all right. After y'all take some L's and your rosters get locked, I'm gonna drop like some elite fucking players you're not gonna be able to pick up and keep.
When did we decide on that, by the way?
We decided on that in the off season.
Okay.
oh, did I get kicked from the chat? No, I think I'm back.
Yeah, Sean booted you.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I definitely booted you.
that's all right. I mean, Sean's been hating since the first day I met him. You know what? He texted me earlier today saying, "I'm not rooting for you,
I
but good
did.
luck."
Just honesty. Just honesty. I'm not rooting for you to catch a dub. But
It was unprovoked, though. You didn't have to say anything.
no, but
You
of
went out of your
course I
way to
do.
let me know you weren't rooting for me.
Well, but I wanted to give you the good luck. But if I'm giving you the good luck, I wanted to attach the truth to it too. I didn't want to give you a good luck and be like, "Oh, he thinks I could win this thing. Like he's giving me luck." Like, no, I mean, good luck, but I'm not personally rooting for you.
You have a person in mind you're rooting for?
I fucking want Ted to represent our division, and he's stacked up. It's kind of like in Survivor when you get to the end and one tribe stuck together the whole time, and it's like that one tribe of 4 people that stuck together versus like 1 or 2 guys on split up tribes, and they make those clutch dubs. Like Ted's represented the West here, and against a bunch of Easters, the whole East. Like, take him down, Teddy. Take him the fuck down.
Let's go!
Oh, I didn't realize Herbert was on IR. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that is a bummer for Keenan. I just got to give claps to Ted rolling with the good use of the soundboard here.
Oh, is that me? I thought that should just happen naturally.
Yeah, no,
I
that
thought the
was
sounds just follow the mood. Is it not Discord AI?
maybe it is something only Loesch could understand. I feel like. Well, how are we feeling about the captain and the Gibbs versus living in Babylon? What are our thoughts here?
My thoughts are, I'm sorry about it, JB, but don't have to go down, buddy.
How are you feeling about the state of your squad heading into the playoffs overall?
How about you don't worry about it? That's how I feel.
Whoa, what's with
No,
this? What's
my
with this host hostility I'm getting here?
state of my squad. Let's see. Optimistically nervous, I guess you could say. I don't know what's going on with Josh Jacobs. He might be hurt. Eckler, I need you to return to being Eckler. And I'd like DJ Moore to continue. I would like Kyron Williams to continue doing good. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
This is a
Anything can happen.
huge revenge game for JB. That he wants to kill Drizzy after that bull he pulled over his eyes earlier this season.
For what?
Oh, are we gonna forget when Drizzy lied to JB about the rules of the keeper league? So when JB thought I'll just throw Nick Chubb away. I don't need him anymore.
Oh.
Drizzy
Here's the
scooped
thing,
him
though.
right up.
I might drop Nick Chubb because there's not even a guarantee that he's going to be back.
Yeah, it's true. His career might be over.
I wouldn't say his career's over, but it might not be worth whatever kind of pick we're deciding to assign to him. Especially when I got players that I might actually need to keep, like Kyron.
Yeah, that's true. Because he never hit. Oh, he did hit. Yeah, no, he did hit waivers. So that means you would get him at ADP. So it could be super low.
Who's that?
Chubb.
Oh yeah, Chubb hit waivers.
Yeah, so he could be ADP. Which means like that might be
Could be
super low coming into next year.
true. Or I could just
I thought if they get
wait for
dropped,
everyone to be too
is that
scared.
only a trade?
Trade.
What?
Trade is like if Jordan had traded for
Trade is
Chubb.
draft position.
Yeah, trade is where not ADP though. It's where they were drafted by the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade
So
is draft
If they get
position.
dropped, it gets reset.
it gets reset. Yeah. I mean, we started to have this conversation. I don't think we ever completed it on like. I mean, I think we did, but I just was still left a little confused on why someone purposely dropping a player would still have to have that player at where they drafted them. Not that like the scenarios were so slim that anyone would ever do this, but like an end of the season sort of thing where like if like you drop a player, they go over waivers, they don't get claimed, no one makes the move to claim him. Why not are they reset? Like, why would they not be reset like any other scenario? Just because it's you who
I
dropped him and
think
picked him back up.
early in the league, earlier in the season on an episode, I remember you came up with like the perfect fucking solution, but then like all I could hear you fucking saying come out of your mouth was,
Because like this is a small thing. Maybe it's gonna end up just being pointless. But like for example, earlier, like I drafted Cole Kmet, then I dropped him like week 1 and picked him back up in week 4. No one grabbed him between then. Why is he not by technicality ADP at that point? He's totally a waiver grab at that point, right? Like why would he go back to being what I drafted him at if I'm picking him up 3 weeks later?
I don't know. My head hurts.
I don't have time
Trying
for your
to-
scheming. This is you cooking up fucking dirty
See,
schemes.
this is exactly why, because you would game the system like this, just scheming with all your little fucking waiver moves.
I just asking the question though. But
Because he's ADP, not draft position, for that exact reason.
well, either way, my thoughts on this matchup between you and Gibbs. Well, I told you earlier. Look, although I'm pulling for Teddy to win it all, there's a bias in me that wants Jordan to win this one. Because Gibbs, as we just established earlier, is playing with my team that I could have, or at least part of my team that I could have been in a playoff spot with had I not made that trade with him. So couldn't say it wouldn't hurt to see him win this year, although I'm not typically against a JB dub in this league. I don't typically, if I'm out of it, root against him. But in this unfortunate case, I'm definitely leaning towards a bias of wanting him out so that he doesn't win with my squad, because I think that just makes it that much worse. So I do have a bias leaning towards Jordan this week.
Chrissy has a high projection, maybe the largest of the week. Yeah, it looks like it. So
Yeah, no,
actually, Wardle's got a little bit higher. But as far as people in the games, and I think what's given him the edge, I'm starting to notice. I haven't really looked at his team, but clicked on David and Joku's profile picture, and this dude is serving cunt. I think that's going to give him the edge.
And Joker, that was a big
Can you
pickup for you.
explain what that means?
Huh?
So can you explain what that means?
I mean, just look at the hairstyle. This dude's cunty as hell.
Wasn't he the dude that had like that clay mask because he had that burn on his face or something like
I
that?
was just gonna say let's remember that half his hair was burned off in a terrible gas incident.
That's why I dropped him.
Wow.
That's why a lot of people.
Is that why Jordan tried to wait? Were you trying to get some good juju by putting oil on half of your face and exploding your water tank in front of you to try and burn in solidarity?
No.
He's trying to be he saw Batman, wanted to be Two-Face.
Okay, listen. I don't want to disregard the other matchups this week. I've actually been looking at Cole's team, and I've got like I want to trash it so bad, but the more I look at it, like listen here, I don't even know if I could rave about any other person's team like this. I'm just gonna rattle off all the fucking good things about Lush's team right now.
This man with the soundboard, he's taking
He
liberties.
really is.
It's great, and it's working. I didn't realize he had Rickety Crick on his squad, though. I got to go take a look at that.
Rickety Crick. Yeah. Well,
Dude, he was
yeah, I guess
so cocky in the early goings of the league. Coming out there saying, just barging into podcasts, claiming that he was number one.
he did do that. Yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
remember
so
that.
glad.
Nice and
I'm
loose
so
Crick.
glad he's in the
Yeah.
league with Black.
I'm glad you brought that up because we really can't forget that he did that.
Oh,
shit.
no. I'm
Yeah.
Shroom Draft. I awakened my third eye. All of you are
But listen,
fucked.
he also it's like for someone trying to manifest his final record, maybe get one over 500 that'll get you in the fucking winners bracket.
That's true.
Like name your
There's a
if he had
winning
named if he had named himself like 750 football, he'd be in the fucking winners bracket by now.
What a clown.
All right. Well, before we move on to our budget segment here, I do have one other question. And I'm curious because I've told who I've been rooting, who I'm
Who do I want to lose the
rooting
league?
for.
You.
Yeah, I'm trying to guess, and I know everyone's rooting for Tuck, to not lose.
Well,
Va Va. No, everyone's giving Tuck. Everyone is hyping Tuck up in the chat.
yeah, that's just so when
Giving
we
him his
shit on him
steam.
later, it'll be that much more impactful.
Dr. Va, I can't speak for everybody with Dr. Va. I don't know about you, Jordan, but I know that I haven't lost yet, and I know I'd be a fan favorite to lose. Now, I also know that even that said, Loesch is in the losers bracket. So let me hear from the three of you. Who would you prefer to lose this year over any of the four?
See that matchup right there that is 500 football versus biting kneecaps?
Yes.
I would want nothing more than for that to be the final matchup down at the bottom there. I don't know if that's a possibility now.
I mean, it happened.
But
Happened 3 years ago.
So
2019.
that's exactly what I want. And then that way
One of
I
them
can
will have to
just
lose out.
prefer- Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do I want to lose more? Probably you, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
Probably you.
I'd love to see you go from hero to zero.
I
No,
guess I
dude,
was
this
hero
is-
at one point, but just for 1 week.
No, listen, Sean, it's not. You understand? People rooting for you to lose is them wanting to
Personal.
like help you. Like, do you understand how much distraction-free paper grading time that is on that plane?
Yeah.
I would love.
You could catch up. You could catch up on so much
That
shit.
is true.
I would love to personally hand you the deucing.
Oh, dude. Personally hand you the deucing before you fly to Anchorage.
No, I know.
Also,
So
for
Ted,
you to
does that
finally
mean
learn,
you're pulling for me too to take this L?
Yes.
above
It'd be-
Loesch, because Loesch
I wouldn't mind either, but if I had to pick,
that would. I guess JB has lost twice, right?
Yeah, JB has lost
Right?
twice. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of like as far as like
Fountain
record.
Township.
Well, yeah, JB's lost
Record-breaking
twice.
goes.
Loesch has lost once. Matt's lost once.
What was Loesch's punishment?
That
He's
was
at a
the
bye
dinner
dinner?
that Wardle didn't show up for.
That's so.
So,
That's
so Loesch owes
Loesch
us.
Loesch owes the league a punishment.
Does Loesch or does
Mind you,
Wardle? Because Loesch showed up. He flew across the country to show up for that punishment. Remember? It was Wardle that didn't show up.
I
wait, was
honestly do
Loesch's
not
real
remember
punishment getting heartbroken, like left at the altar
that
by
happened.
Wardle? They're
Oh,
gonna have a beautiful
maybe.
dinner together. You were like, but you believe you got left at the altar. Wait,
It's like, did I miss
where's
Loesch's
my
almost wedding?
girl?
She's my girl. It doesn't
She's
know
my-
it yet.
She's my wife. She just doesn't know it yet.
So
Um,
so if Tuck lost, it would be his first. It would be Vaz's second. It would be Loesch's second. It would be my first.
Yeah, so Tuck's got a business to run. He can't be flying across the country.
That he could spread the good word, make some connects.
I would like to see a new loser rather than somebody that's already
Did you
lost.
hear this shit? Loesch was saying that he wouldn't. He said like there's nowhere in the rules that say we don't have to pay for that. Like we have to pay for. He's basically saying we have to buy him first class, and there's no rules that say we don't have to.
I thought
There's
the
no
whole
rules that say
concept
we
is that
have
it was
to.
a shitty flight.
Yeah, it's a shitty airline. Yeah, there's no
And
rules
he
that
said it
say
could
we
be.
have to buy him first
He
class.
said it. He said it can be Spirit
He
first
doesn't.
class.
I thought we
He
agreed
doesn't buy the
though.
ticket.
So I thought we agreed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we agreed on the punishment, it was a shitty flight. It was. Well, also we're all splitting the ticket 10 ways. That
It
was.
was middle seat.
Well, no. Remember, I tried to push for middle seat, and then everyone just said no. They said that would be too much of a pain in the ass because the
Oh.
loser's already flying across. That's the thing I was going to bring up. I thought it was shitty flight. I thought it was a layover each way, and then I tried to push for middle seat, and then everyone rejected it, or majority rejected it.
Yeah, because I remember a couple people like, my big ass wouldn't fit in the middle seat. I'm
Yeah.
a big boy.
So
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking around. Lois didn't say that shit.
Oh!
got
Did he
him.
not?
Got him.
I did already call my shot, and I bought him the ticket already, though.
He's already
No.
flying. No matter what, he's
I was
flying
thinking, so
truck.
in the winners bracket, though, what kind of history is there to be made? We got, because I was thinking we're getting to a point in the league where there's like a decent percentage, like there's a bigger variety of people that have won now.
Sure.
I think the people want to see a three-timer.
So we've got, I guess there's 3 people in the winners bracket that have won and 3 that have not, right? Looks like it.
Wardle,
Oh.
you, Jordan have won. Brennan hasn't. Matt hasn't. And Gibbs hasn't.
So I guess in theory
This is
there's a better chance of a repeat because the 2 bye weeks also have won.
This
But-
is not intended to be a slight on JB. I just truly do not remember. Is this his first winners bracket appearance?
No, it's not
No, I
his
can't
first.
believe, no.
So I feel like he always just gets bad luck and ends up getting fucked at the end, like with injuries or something happens to his squad to where I just always end up seeing JB in the losers bracket.
That usually
thinking,
does
"Damn,
happen, but no.
Sorry, JB.
I think JB and I, because I remember like before my like bombing year last year, I like looked at the league history and JB and I were both like exactly 500. So I bet it's just like this same like 7-7 torturous shit where he's like right on the bubble. I can't remember him being in a championship game or anything though.
JB made the playoffs last year. He ended as a 6th seed.
Oh, well then, my apologies.
And then my computer's going too slow to open the other years, but they don't pop up as easy. But yeah.
Well, the year before that he lost, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was his repeat L.
Thoughts on
Where we
Stroud
literally
starting
tried to make him die.
Brock Purdy?
I like the move. I
But
mean, he's
talking
not
about
starting.
name.
He's not starting his namesake, but I think that's a pretty good move for him.
Where's the boo? Where's the fucking boo?
I mean, Stroud's in concussion protocol, so I don't even know if he's playing.
I'm only just throwing shade. Just trying to get the audience riled up.
You're a shady guy.
Wait a minute, what? I'm calling up. Oh, I'm FaceTiming Stroud right now. He does look a little dazed. What's that flying around in circles right above his head? No, yeah, this man is fucking
Enough.
concussed.
Oh,
He's got
that's
ducks
good.
there.
Yeah, you're fucked. Huh?
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's go on to our top rated. Feedback has been over the years, last 2 years, feedback has been given to the pod over and over and over. And the comment section is always going crazy for the offers report and the budget summary. So let's
Hey,
knock
Jay,
that
what?
shit out.
No, Bill's Mafia.
Bill's Mafia. Yeah. It's either a comment about hitting women or it's a comment about how much he loves the budget
Hitting
summary
women.
segment. So
Or how much he admires the teamwork and perseverance of Al Qaeda and the Taliban.
Well,
Isn't this the Pocket Watch segment?
not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
So I gotta knock out the offers report. So obviously we
Okay,
won't get to see who gets added because of the early pod this week. We'll recap it next week. But last
Ooh.
Thursday, yeah, it's like a boo. We need a boo one on there. Last Thursday, Loesch added the Saints defense for $3, which I do think at this point he's dropping a little bit of change just to make Ted go a little brazy there, because it's just little bits, and dropping money on a Thursday is an interesting move unless there's like a rule out or an injury, something like that, like what we'll see in a second. But Saints D for $3, which ended up being like a big factor in him, because I'm pretty sure if he starts the
$3 on a
Kansas,
Thursday?
yeah, I'm
The
pretty
fuck
sure.
changed before?
I'm pretty sure the KCD is who he had been starting, and if he had just been Loesch, and Loesch had talked about how he didn't really work waivers, but he has been on the waivers the past couple weeks, and if he didn't do that, I think he loses. So big ad for him. More so a big ad for me, technically, because he would have been the loser's bracket either way. But Alexander Madison I added, and then I didn't add DJ Dallas. Both bids were $0.
Yeah, lotion biting kneecaps pretty fucking tasteless to go about adding players on the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Fucking classy as fuck. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's my bad.
Bastards.
Now for some activity, because what I just spoke on before, we had Top Keko ruled out, and now the running backs of the Chiefs became popular, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was added by $8 by Nook If You Book, and he dropped Drake London, who went off. And then Living in Babylon did not get Clyde Edwards-Helaire for $5. I
Glad
believe
be glad.
you tried to reunite with him, right? You've had him before on your roster.
Yeah, I believe I once drafted him in like the second round, and I'm actually glad I didn't have him on my team this week because I would have started him, and it could have been bad for me.
Well, you did not get him.
Wait, did you hear Wardle fucking one time? Like Wardle told me in confidence, so because I'm spilling the fucking beans, but he told me he wanted to just pump Clyde full of cream until he was Edwards Eclair.
Wow.
I have heard that from him before.
It's so fucking
He
gross.
sent he sent me 10 different vids, 10 different angles of Clyde's pants ripping this past week. Kinda
Really?
like- yeah, it was kind of like, yo, come on now.
Matt, you seem baffled
Then
by
he-
that.
Then he had the audacity to think that football players wear cups.
Do they wear Cooper
Who
cups?
do you- No, they don't.
Oh. Well,
The shit's swinging.
anyway,
Oh,
Jerick
dude.
McKinnon not added by Nuke If You Booth for $4 because he had Helaire added. I added McKinnon for $0, didn't start him. And then I did not
Dark Boy
add.
got him.
What's that?
You like adding a
But he let
Viking?
it
Yeah, I dropped him real quick. So
fucked up. Letting him fall to a Brook Boy. You see, you're jerking off.
I was jerking off at least for a minute there when I thought there was about an hour there where he was sitting in my flex and I was jerking off, but then I decided to put him back for Cortland Sutton. Now I also did not get Chiggy Wiggy Okonkwo because I added Jerkin off. And then I decided to add him anyway the next day on Sunday, dropping the Chargers defense because I thought, why not? If he pops off, I'll have him sitting there. And he did
Did you
not.
get Chig?
I got Chig, and I still have Chig. So I'm getting Chiggy with it. But he's on my bench. Now, let's turn to The Pocket Watch
Oh,
segment.
that's me. Hold on, let me get to it.
Jordan Dry's Pocket Watch segment. Here we go.
First of all, that's not my name, and don't ever say my full name on here.
It's on the screen. It's a YouTube video. It's on the screen.
Anyways, don't ever say my full name on this pod.
Okay, Jay Wet.
So
I'll shorten it, Jay Wet.
that's I don't know where that even comes from. So we got actually 3 people that are broke. Them 3B, John Hayward, James McClendon, and Tucker Nugent. We got 2 people with $5. That would be Living in Babylon and James Wardle.
Well, hold
We
on.
got
Who is living in
one
Babylon, though?
person with $7.
I'm sorry. Who is living in Babylon?
Olave Garden. We have a man at $11, and that would be the Stroud Boys. We also have a man at $39, and that would be Cole Popovic. We have a man at $57, and that is Varun Patel. Finally, we wrap this segment up with Brennan Lasher, who has $80. This has been the Pocket Watch segment.
There was a name you didn't say in there.
I don't think so.
You were doing like
What's your
manager
thoughts on
names, but then you skipped one.
Yeah.
You
No,
skipped
I
one.
did teams. I said Olave Garden. I said Stroud Boys.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I did team names.
Gotcha.
What are your thoughts on people with 57 and
57
are they saving it all up to Vavo?
Yeah. I think Vaugh's been busy this year. I think maybe he is sometimes not placing bids on Wednesdays and then just not really following who to pick up and stuff. Maybe not paying attention as much as he has in years past. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You're playing it's going to cost in the league?
I mean, I feel
Or is he
like
about
at
to
this
drop
point,
it to
though,
outbid Cole on the waiver wire of the century?
he could. That he could. But then what about Follow Spike? Maybe he makes an $80 bid.
Well, he gets it. He gets that $80 next season, though. So.
Oh yeah.
So why wouldn't
All
you
right,
just hold
that's
on to
coming
it?
from the commish. You guys all heard it coming from the commish. Waiver money carries over.
Yeah, and I thought if I don't back it up, that like I have to pay that money to you in cash.
Back it up. You have to pay that to me in cash.
If you back it up, I will. Well, that brings us to a segment that's near and dear to our hearts. Jordan, you want to take this segment for us here? I know you fought hard to keep it, so it's all yours.
Yes. So now we get into the Shaq-a-Roni segment. What is this segment? Tell us something that's just absolutely destroying your insides. What's something that's really bugging you? What's something that is just tearing you up inside? Ted, would you like to start?
So I see hot take.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could go icy hot. I tried to get a new sponsorship in here, but
Okay. So something tearing me up inside.
other than the crow.
Okay. I looked at my phone for 1 second. I was like, all right. Something that's tearing me up inside is that
Would you like me
something
to go
tearing
and
me.
you can maybe have a second?
I would love that.
Okay, so my Shaq-a-Roni moment, my Shaq-a-Roni topic is this rat
Chaperone and a
fuck.
fool.
Shaq-a-Roni and a fool. Is this rat fuck Tommy DeVito showing up to these games acting like he's a real fucking Italian? This motherfucker shows up in a flaming shirt He's got his agent looking like an absolute clown on the sideline, wearing a fucking fedora and a pinstripe suit. He's got his fat fuck dad and mom up in the stands doing little gabagool signals. Tommy DeVito, you're a clown, brother. Get off the fucking field. About to have your job taken by Danny Dimes. Go fuck yourself. And that was my Shaq-a-roni topic.
Damn, that seemed kind of personal.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, it's something that's tearing me up inside. It's like it's just something that I have a qualm with it. I had to get it off my chest. John, would you care to share one of your Shaq-a-roni moments?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think I care to share because there's some Shaq-a-ronis in here that just, man, sometimes you get one that you don't think is going to tear you up, right? Like you think, oh, this is actually a pretty good Shaq-a-roni. I'll probably eat the whole pie. And then, bad mistake, right? Like you went a couple hours
If you eat the
and you
whole
were
pie,
feeling
it's
good and
over.
like, yeah, you eat the whole pie, but then like a couple hours you're like, oh, like I am going to be okay. And then all of a sudden, like you're just fucking done.
Then you're up
So,
at 3 a.m. just
yeah.
praying to God.
Yeah, and it's just, oh god, I don't even want to describe it on here. But I'd have to say something tearing me up, something really tearing me up is the Vikings winning games only putting up 3 points and them thinking that they're good because they're clearly an awful squad and they've shown it. They're gonna. I can't. I haven't looked at the schedule. They have 2 games against the Lions, and I don't know the other 2, but it's so clear they're gonna lose out. It's so clear that they're not good, and not because they're not talented. Like if Kirk was there and Jettas was healthy, this wouldn't be a statement. But for some reason, delusional Vikings fans think that they're still good, even with whoever they're starting, Mullins or whatever his name is, and Jetta just in and out of the lineup. It's not this year's not your year. The Packers are going to make the playoffs before you do. You have to play them. Oh, that is one of the other games is playing the Packers. They're going to beat you. But yet Vikings fans want to talk all this mess about the Lions who are going to win the division for the first time since it's been the NFC North. It's coming. So, yeah, Vikings, the state of the Vikings is tearing me up because they get this 3-0 win against a trash Raiders team and think that they're still in the hunt for anything. So,
Wow, you just
Thank you for sharing. Matt,
Vikings living your head rent free, huh?
well, no, they're living in my bowels and tearing me up with this Shaq-a-roni.
As they
Matt,
should.
since that seemed kind of targeted, would you care to share a Shaq-a-roni moment of your own? Maybe something that's tearing you up inside?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was pretty unprofessional of a host to tag a football team like that. But what's tearing me up inside? Oh God, what? I guess what's tearing me up besides the officiating in the NFL? You know,
Ooh, okay.
just overall, I've seen too many bad calls, right? Going on in this league. These guys have way too much power in their hands, and they have like the ability to decide outcomes of games. Like I know about the whole Chiefs Bills thing where Kadarius Toney, Goober was offsides, but and Patrick Mahomes went
Did lose
absolutely,
his mind.
yeah, he lost his mind on the refs. And I mean, that wasn't a bad call, but it brought up a good, it brought up a good point of like the officiating in this league is pretty dog shit, pretty bad.
Oh, it is. Very
A lot of these
suspect.
refs,
For
you
sure.
know. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I like it.
grinding my gears, honestly.
Hey,
And
All right.
that's good. I appreciate you bringing that up because that is a topic of discussion, unfortunately. It shouldn't be. The refs should stay out of
Yeah.
shit and not decide the outcomes of games, but I would agree. That's something worth Shaq-a-roni moment. Because
And I'm with
that tears
Peyton.
me up
Don't
inside.
just call the play dead. I don't want to have to see what the fucking dirtiest play of all time get called back. Just call it.
That's a
Just
good
blow the
point.
play dead, right? Because I was trying to think. Kelsey, would he just have gotten points for the length he got for the catch and run? and then the touchdown just goes to Tony like it was a handoff.
I believe so.
I
Yeah.
don't. Does Mahomes get a pass touchdown? Maybe, I don't know.
It's actually a great question. I don't know how that would be handled.
But okay, my shakaroni. Oh man, something that's just been passing through my bowels like a brick, tearing me up inside, about to rip my asshole like a giant spiky ball. Um, and I have and it's still tearing me up, and I have an asshole the size of Shaq's when he
Yeah, you do.
was like a 3-year-old baby.
Yeah, you do.
A 3-year-old baby. That's like a 3-week-old baby, dude. So mine's like a fucking dime. That shakaroni is gonna rip me in two.
Why'd
Okay.
you say that, Sean? That was really strange.
Huh?
What did he say?
He said
I could hear.
He
Go
said,
ahead,
"Yeah,
'cause I
you
could
do," when
hear-
you were describing your asshole. Like,
And he said it real seductively, and I heard like the sound of someone licking their lips.
No
Okay,
lick lip.
So
No lip licking. None
what's
of that.
what's the verbiage? Is it grinding my gears? Is that it? What's Shaq and my Roni?
Yeah.
All right.
What's Shaq and your own?
What Shaq and my Roni is can I do like a little I'm gonna like think outside the bun, and I'm gonna I'm
Listen,
I'm
this is
doing
a
a
new
little
segment. Interpret it however you please.
all right. I'm still sticking with the NFL, but I'm doing a little cross league cross pollination. You know, I was thinking back to some things Tuck in some things Tuck used to say. You know, he made a lot of good points about how Brad Stevens could not motivate the Boston Celtics back in the day. And in hindsight, you know, Tuck might have been onto something. What's Shaq and my Roni is coaches in pro sports leagues not being able to motivate their men well enough. Brad Stevens should have been getting these men together and telling them to band together like the 9/11 jihadists. That is how you
Oh my
motivate a group
God.
of men.
Oh man,
Don McDermott has it right.
is the NFL equivalent of Brad Stevens, Brandon Staley,
Probably.
minus the success? Of
Probably.
Brad
I was
Stevens?
literally
Yeah.
I was literally thinking that. That was that,
I
I
could
was
see
like
it.
thinking of like NFL.
It's like
see it.
I would put it on Mike McDaniels, but I feel like I'd be motivated to play for that guy. He seems like a cool motherfucker.
No, Mike. Yeah, all the players love his ass. So
yeah,
he's
Kevin
like
O'Connell. He's the next Phil Jackson.
Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, okay. All right. Jordan, I have to ask you, is it because listen, you secured this segment. I'm just wondering because so you know how I told you I got shredded by that like late night shakaroni and 3 a.m. I'm up, just didn't think it was gonna happen, and I was just
it
getting
happened
my
to you
stomach
too.
shredded. Yeah. Well, what if I told you
Dude,
that
I
after?
have warned everybody
What
about
if
the
I?
Shaq-a-roni.
What if I told you
They
that
have to
after?
experience themselves.
But what if I told you that right after I finished just getting my bowels destroyed at like probably from about 2 to 5 a.m., I was hungry again. So I ordered
Oh,
another
yeah.
shakaroni.
No.
I did. I did. And I ate it
Is that your way
I
of
ate the
saying you
whole
have
thing
another
again.
Shaq-a-roni moment?
I do if it's acceptable.
Of course.
So I just wanted to add that one thing that's just been tearing up my insides. And it's like, and we're not talking like a first time, because like it's one thing to have them torn up the first time, but like if you're talking just hours later and they're getting torn up again, that's a different kind of tear that's going on. I cannot stand how much commercials the NFL is showing nowadays. It's killing me. Unless you're watching like the red zone, like it feels like there's commercials every 5 minutes, and maybe it's been like that a lot, but I feel like it's getting worse. I feel like I cannot get in a rhythm with a game, and you know, kind of doing what Ted did for a little bit. Like college feels that way too, but back to the NFL especially, because I'm trying to enjoy my Sunday. If I see a game that I like, I'll pick that over red zone and just watch that whole game. And these commercials are killing me, man. I don't know if it's just me, but like I've talked to my coworkers a little bit about it, and like they were feeling the same kind of way. Like just the commercials, and especially if like fantasy stuff is on the line and you're like really, really trying to feel it and like get all hyped for something to happen. It's just commercial, commercial, commercial in between drives, and even more than that. It's just, I don't know. It feels like there's more advertising than ever, and it's been annoying me this season.
I would agree. There are the ads are getting out of control.
Well, to me, it's
Still
like
the ads
I know
crazy.
the times I can think because I do end up watching at least having if I have multiple feeds, I at least have one on Red Zone. So it's like okay, at
Well, if
least
it's
this one's
red
got
zone,
no
it's
ads.
7 hours of commercial-free football.
But then if it's like the primetime games or something, then it's like anytime a player goes down with a minor injury, which happens like every 4 plays, it's like fuck. Now we got to wait for this ad break. Yeah, that shit. Anytime a player falls on the ground, I get so annoyed because it's like I guess I need to fucking scroll through Instagram for the 12th time.
Don't they incorporate TV breaks into football games nowadays?
Do you mean like when they don't go completely away for the ad and like it's like the State Farm ads where it's like they just have a little box of the game and they're playing not like while the game's live but during like a dead time? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe not.
No, I
No, I
thought
I think
that,
it just means like are there TV timeouts that aren't even timeouts the teams are taking?
Oh, I think so.
yeah,
I think so,
Right? Is that what
right?
you're saying?
I think they
Yeah.
do. I think that is.
they do have TV breaks. Yeah, I thought they did.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just really tearing up my insides raw because I would just get so annoyed. I feel like I couldn't just enjoy the game. Sometimes it felt like it was just really like you said, Ted. Like anytime there's a stoppage that's like unintentional, you're like, "Fuck, I know it's coming. It's a commercial."
So,
Which is terrible because you're looking
And
at a
it's
guy lifeless on the field and you're like, oh, great. Now we got a fucking commercial because this guy's hurt.
Hold on, I don't know about lifeless. If someone was like Damar Hamlin, I
Well,
don't know if I'd be thinking about the commercial. But
well,
Ted said minor
someone's just
injuries.
unconscious.
yeah, because like even the ones that are
Any injury.
like it's fun. It's nice when it's just like when somebody I don't know if they I don't know if it's like on punts or field goals or something when they don't cut and they just go straight to the kickoff. Then it's like, okay, we can watch, like, hear the announcers talking a little bit, watch the players run out. Like, that seems like a breeze. But then it's like, yeah, when they cut, you know you're getting like 5 ads minimum, and it's like, ugh.
Right.
What's awful is it used to be extra point commercial, kickoff commercial, and then drive. Now I think it's extra point commercial, kickoff, then you get to watch the drive. But it used to be,
Yeah, I think they did cut
even
one
more.
out of them, like a while back. Yeah.
Mm.
Which thanks NFL for being somewhat less greedy. But you know they added that break in somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah. But all right.
Well, yeah.
Hey,
We can do a icy hot if anyone's got one quick.
I
I
don't
didn't mean
personally.
to just get rid of
Okay,
that
okay,
segment.
okay. I do have an icy hot.
Yeah, it sounded like Teddy was excited. He got caught off guard by our new sponsorship.
Oh yeah, well I didn't have it ready then either. But all right, my icy hot. I honestly, okay. You know, it's not the most burning or the most chilliest ice. I don't really know what part is, but here's my take. Milos Black.
I don't know that party.
Milos Black is going to somehow surprisingly end up in that final deucing game. And he's gonna how do we put this? He's gonna think he's gonna unlock the secrets of the fantasy universe. And he's gonna buy a shakaroni and put magic mushrooms on it and eat the entire thing before well, he's gonna microdose on that the whole week. Which I guess in a shakaroni is a macro dose, but it's basically he's going to think he's going to open his third eye to set the perfect lineup and make the perfect waiver ads, but it's going to render him lifeless on the bathroom floor, covered in shakaroni shit, like a ball pit of these rocks, and he's not going to set his lineup, and he's going to lose the game because he's going to start like 4 injured players by accident.
Hey,
That would be. Hey, I'm not against it.
That entails him losing the league, so I'll take it.
I am not against it.
Yeah.
I'm also not against Sean losing the league. I'm more in
course.
favor of that actually.
I actually don't think that was your segment to chime in, but it's all right. All right. Well.
Also,
Oh, you
my
got more?
take isn't over.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yes. My take is that not only. Okay, also, can we talk about my take? Loesch didn't eat the fucking Snickers bar. What a fucking bozo. Okay, rant over. But my take is that not only will Loesch be on that flight, Loesch already has done the flight. This is some kind of fucking glitch in the Matrix. Milos Black, I don't know how the fuck he did it, but his flight did some kind of time break in time. And that bitch screaming about this motherfucker ain't real, that was Loesch.
oh shit. Loesch ain't real?
He, t- he took one look at that mantail and she was like, there's no fucking way. She blew up on the plane, got kicked out, became a celeb. And
Look at
Milos Black.
our fantasy breaking the laws of physics and space time.
What we do?
That's the coldest
So,
take,
thanks,
though. That's like a
Harambe.
really, that's not even an icy hot take. That's just a cold take. Like, that's like bound to happen, but
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah,
a ice plunge take.
yeah. Just like the Lions not making the playoffs, and that's another pretty cold take.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, well,
also,
okay, we're
Loesch is gonna have.
quack, quack, quack.
Hey, stop! Loesch is gonna have a Sullenberger situation. That plane's gonna be flying. What's that going into the engine?
Land in the river.
Jeez. The ultimate plane perch.
But it's the LA River.
Wait, is Loesch gonna perch on the wing of the
On
plane?
the way.
Maybe he should.
It's like the Twilight Zone episode. They're like, "There's a goblin on the wing. I swear." There's a troll on the wing of the fucking plane.
Oh man. All right, Matt, you got an icy hot?
I already told you.
Was that your shakaroni or? Because they're two different segments. I think is this Jordan? Is this by you securing the shakaroni segment? Is this the end of the icy hots, or are we adding a new segment to the pod?
I mean, the only reason I asked Ted for his icy hot is because it sounded like he had one. I think going forward, if people have an icy hot, they can voice that.
But it's not a whole segment. It's just more of like.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, here's my icy hot. For now, it's
Okay.
shakaroni. What's tearing you up inside? Give us your
Gotcha.
shakaroni moment.
Gotcha.
Just Nick Mullins is strolling into Ford Field, and he's dropping 38 points on you
And
guys.
we're off, and we're done. No. All right. Well, gentlemen, we've made it to the end of the pod at about 2 hours. So, guests, starting with Teddy. Final thoughts heading into the playoffs.
All right, my final thoughts. I didn't even do that one. The cricket. That was a real ass cricket. My final thoughts. Thank God I'm. Thank God I can have my foot off the gas this week. Can just enjoy. Well, this isn't even the juiciest week. This because the losers bracket ain't taking shape, but it'll be intriguing to see where my next matchup will be. I mean, there's only. I guess this is stupid to bring this up now. We can almost predict who the next matchups could possibly be, right? Because, what are the standings? Are the 6th seed is JB, the 5th seed is Matt. So if Jordan, or is this going to be too confusing? Yeah, I don't fucking know. Either way, yeah, should be an exciting matchup. Good week. good pod, a lot of analysis. You gotta have the longest pod for the going into the playoffs. There's so much analysis to be doing.
Of course.
Oh, dude. You gotta assist
So
so
yeah,
much.
I'm gonna be excited, and who knows? I mean, we say this week isn't important for the losers bracket, but who the fuck knows what's gonna pan out if some players get injured during this week down there? If handcuffs start to get in the mix, like this week, we'll have. If some players get hot, this week could have some stakes. So
There will definitely
Could be a
be,
juicy
be
one.
implications. Just no one gets eliminated from the deucing this week, so it's just.
all right, yeah. And I just want to say, thank you to the audience. You guys are great for showing up. I'm glad we can get all this money from these ticket sales. Oh, thank you. You shouldn't have. Oh my god. Okay, I'll bow. Okay, ducks and crickets up in the balcony. Thank you.
All these fucking sounds.
And I want to thank and I want to thank our band. Appreciate you guys. You've been doing great work. And Captain Ahab, thank you. Wait a minute, Captain Ahab was a fucking cricket?
Oh my
Wait,
god.
also wait. Tiger Woods, is that that putt looks like it's going in.
Get in the hole!
Golf clap.
We gotta have more sounds that
Matt,
soundboard.
Matt.
Wait a minute, holy shit.
Oh.
I just got news. My whole family just died.
Oh shit! Sorry, wrong.
No,
There we go.
Matt, any final thoughts?
Wait a minute, just kicked in.
Someone take the soundboard away from this man. He's a better derailer than professional derailer James Wardle.
Hey, we were gonna go a whole
Wouldn't
pod
unrail him that
without
day.
talking about him, giving him airtime. Remember?
Well, he was in the He was in the pocket watch segment.
True. Yeah. All right,
Can't wait
Matt.
for my next appearance when
thoughts?
we download like a billion new soundboards.
Oh, trust me.
It'll
I'm
be
gonna look
it'll
for
be there.
some-
we need clips of like like weird audio clips and shit.
Matt, any final thoughts?
Just for the teams that matter, best of luck in playoffs. I personally rooting for myself. I think I make a great storyline going from zero to hero. I don't know if anyone in this league has ever had the deucing and then gotten the El Harambe the subsequent year, but I would like to make history if that's not the case. So.
Yeah, I think that would be history, but
That would be.
yes, obviously very sad. Oh, I like what you got when I put in the chat earlier. I kind of liked the idea that like there's a like a G League version of our league with Tim, Brian, Mogul, and Flowey. They just like play each
Were
other,
they
hoping
trying
for a chance to get in.
called up?
Yeah.
In case someone doesn't do the punishment, they get banished to the G League.
Is that like the
That would be good.
XFL?
We call up whoever's the most prosperous down there. That wouldn't be bad.
Well,
The XFL or NFL?
Jordan, you got any final thoughts here?
I just want to say that I am very grateful for Harambe's good graces to bring me back to the promised land that is known as the winner's bracket. Thank you. I hope that his good graces continue. Stop, guys. Come on. Okay.
It's
let's hear
on
it.
camera right now. It's you. That's you.
That-
I'm recording the Discord screen. That's you doing that
Thank
to
you.
yourself.
I hope I can make you all happy. I do this for you. Most of all for Harambe. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Wow. People love me. That kind of sounds like me clap.
Wow.
You got a duck in the stadium too.
Just rabbit clapping.
Is recording over?
Jeez. No, because I've still got my final words, which are just as simple as, look, gentlemen, I'm not taking part. I'm going to be trying to avoid the deuce, but enjoy the playoffs. Have a good run. Teddy, I'm pulling for you to win it all to represent the West. And as we do, as always, no matter what the circumstance, the pod is for Harambe. So as always, R.I.P. to Harambe. Dicks out for Harambe, and may Harambe be president one day. Harambe for president.
He's dead, so congratulations.
So, well, that's
He was murdered.
that's gonna be wraps.